Hello everyone, I am Punya Agarwal, ACCA affiliate, and this is the first video in which I'll be solving the Kaplan kit of business and technology paper. This is the first topic that we have, which is the business organization topic. It has approximately 10 questions, and let's begin. So the first question is, which of the following is not a key feature of an organization? So here, whenever you are reading the question, it is important that you underline the keywords. So the keyword here is not a key feature. So out of these four, three would be your key features of an organization and one won't be the key feature. So let's see. Control performance. Obviously, if you know the definition of organizations, there are three basic things that are there in the definition. Firstly, you should have an organization always have collective goals. Then an organization obviously is a social arrangement, and then thirdly, it has a controlled performance. So I hope that you remember the definition of an organization. For example, if we take an example of Reliance organization, that is a company which is an organization, right? So obviously they have collective goals that they have to earn this much of profit, they have to clock this much of revenue, they have to only incur this much of cost. So this is a collective goal that they have, right? And then obviously they are a social arrangement. Why? Because there are many people working in there. There are shareholders, there are employees, there are workers, there are other people who are engaged with Reliance. So obviously it is a social arrangement. And then of course they have a control performance. Someone is overlooking their performance. The people that are working there are overlooked by somebody. So obviously there is a control performance. So this is uh, control performance is there, collective goals is there, social arrangement is there, creation of a product or a service. So it is not always necessary that an organization always will create a product or a service. There are many organizations that are not are an organization, but they do not create a product or a service. So this is not a key feature of an organization. They can do other things as well, right? So that is the answer. So answer is D part, creation of a product or a service. This is not a key feature. It can be a feature for sure, but it's not a key feature. So let's move forward with the next question. Which of the following organization is normally found in public sector? So public sector meaning government sector mainly. Right. So if we talk about सबसे पहले whenever we look at the questions, wherever we can always use the elimination method. That is the best method in MCQs. So businesses cannot be an option because obviously normally we cannot find a business in the public sector because businesses are made for the profits and they will be found in private sector. So this is not an option. Now schools and charities. Now charities may be in public sector, maybe in private sector. But usually when you see this, schools, they're usually public sector. If you take any name of the school, GD Goenka Public School, it is public school, Ryan International School, or whatever the public name is there, right? So schools are usually normally found in the public sector, right, which is known as a non-governmental sector, because these organizations are found normally in the non-governmental sector and the schools are normally found in the government sector. So that is the reason. I know that you might be confused between charities and schools, but this is the major difference, that charities may be found in your public sector as well as your private sector. That can be both. But if you see schools, they're normally found in your public sector. That is the reason this is the correct answer. So your school is the correct answer over here. Next question. The public sector is normally concerned with. So public sector is meaning the government sector, right? Making profits from the sale? No, not at all, because this is the work of the private sector. Providing services to specific groups funded by charity from charity donation. This is the work of NGOs and not public sector. Provision of basic government services. This is the correct answer, because this is a work of the public sector that they provide us with the basic government services, right? So this is the correct answer. Let's mark it. Sorry for all the mess. Yeah, let's move forward with the fourth question. Okay. A A company is a company which specializes in forestry. It has recently purchased B company. So we have A company, we have a B company, and A company has purchased B company, which runs a chain of recreational resorts. Okay. A has allowed B to build several new resorts on land which is owned by A, but it is no longer but which it is no longer able to use. The resorts have proven highly profitable and popular. Which of the following best explains the reason for improved performance of the combined entity? So, whenever you hear this word combined entity, so what was the case? Was it that this was a forestry? They specialize in forestry and they specialize in resorts, right? And they had one drawback. What was the drawback? That which is owned by, but which is no longer, A is not able to use the land that they have. So obviously B can use the land and make their resorts and earn profits out of that, and due to which they're able to earn the profits out of that. That is the reason that A plus B is able to yield more profits than A individually and B individually. So wherever your combination comes, combined entity comes, it is the case of synergy. If you know the definition of synergy, it is also like it power, when power is more, power is gained by two people by combine, when they combine together or they work together, when two organizations work together to achieve a synergy. Because these, A was not able to utilize the land, that was its drawback, and B did not had land, that was his drawback. So when they came together, they were able to generate huge amount of profits. So that is the reason this is synergy. Okay. Next question. Question number 5. Which of the following statements regarding limited companies is correct? Limited companies. Okay. A public limited company have access to wider pool of finance than partnerships or sole traders. I think this is the correct answer. Why? Because in, public limited companies can take money from the shareholders, meaning the general public, right? They can sell their shares to gain money from the general public, whereas in your partnership or the sole traders, this is not the case. If your, if your father is a businessman, he won't be having, it would be a sole trader, or like a partnership with somebody, some of his friends or like family members. So there they won't be picking up money from the public, the general public. Like, if I want to invest in your father's company, I won't be able to invest because that is not a public limited company. So that is the reason that public limited company obviously has a wider range of finance, because they can sell their shares and they can allow the public to invest in their company, right? So that is the reason this is the correct answer. Let's move forward. Consider the following list of different organizations: government departments, partnerships, charities, companies. Okay. Which of these organizations would normally be classified as a both NPO and a private sector organization? So now here, if you see that when we did a question above, I'll just show you. When we did this question, this second question, I told you that charities can be a part of your public sector as well as private sector. So here this statement turns to be a proof that here, if you see, the answer would be B, because charities can be normally be classified as both NPO and private sector. And here in question number 2, I'll just show you again. In question number 2, they told it is a public sector. So there's a difference between your NPO and public sector. If you know, I hope that you know it. If you don't know, please just comment down below. I'll surely help you out with that. But this is the reason that this B, charities, is correct, and only this is correct. Because if you see rest of the options, partnerships and companies obviously do not form a part of NPO. Obviously, they are for the profit making part of it, for sure, right? And then if you see the government departments, they are not at all included in your private sectors. That is the reason charity is correct. So here also your elimination method plays an important role. Even if you're confused, you can use the elimination method and see if what is the best answer that you are getting, right? Okay. Question number 7. An organization that is owned and democratically controlled by its members. So, charities, non governmental organizations, basically NPOs, cooperatives, and private limited companies. So, if you know the definition of cooperatives, then you would know that it has members. So, private limit cannot be an option because private limited companies do not have members, they have shareholders, right? This is a basic difference of wordings over here, and also it plays a major role in your understanding of the concepts as well, right? So the cooperatives, why what is the major agenda of cooperatives is to meet the needs of the members, right? It is owned by the members, it is also controlled by the members, and it is for the members as well, right? So that is the reason that this is the correct answer. If you see, if you ask me for NPO, and in NPO we do not have a profit motive, whereas in cooperatives we do have a profit motive. So this just eliminates this. This is eliminated. So that is the reason this would be the correct answer. Next question. W is an organization which imports computers into country A and sells them to public in order to make a profit. Okay. It is owned by 15 individual investors, each of whom owns an equal number of shares. Investors is not a public limited company. Okay. So now what they're saying is that W is a company जिनके they have 15 अलग-अलग type of investors, right? They have 15 अलग-अलग type of investors and who owns equal amount of shares, जिनके पास equal amount of shares हैं सबके पास, right? So if you see which of the following is likely to be the most appropriate source of finance? The source of finance, because they already have so many investors who have equal number of shares and it's not a public limited company. So central government, why would central government fund such an organization which is a which is a private limited company? It is not a public limited company. That means it is a private limited company, right? So why would government fund any organization just like that, right? So this won't be the correct answer. Then the existing owners of the show, obviously they will be getting, because it is a private company and they have already 15 shareholders with them. Obviously they'll be taking money from them. Issue of shares to the public, it won't be able to do that because it is not a public limited company. Donations from the public, why would public donate a random private limited company, right? So that is the reason the existing owners of the company will definitely provide the fund to the company, right? Okay. Next question. Second last, yeah. Okay. True or false? And not for profit organizations have varied objectives which depend on the needs of their members or the sections of the society they are created to benefit. For sure, yes, of course. Now if you see, there are many NGOs which cater to different aspect of your society. For example, one is for food drives, basically your hunger, for hunger, right? Then there can be a shelter, only shelter one. Then there can be for women, right? And then in women also they can have subsections. So that is the reason that they're saying that which depends on needs of their members or the section of the society they're created. So benefits, that is a true statement. The primary objective of government funded organization is to reduce cost of their operations, thus minimize the burden on the taxpayers. No, no, not at all. This is a false statement. Government funded organizations are usually concerned with the basic government services that they can give to the public, right? They are not considered, they are not there for to reduce the cost of the operations or to minimize the burden of taxpayers. They're not there for that. They're there for the services that they can offer to the public. So this is a false statement, right? I hope that you're understanding the questions. Lastly, these are very simple basic questions, but there are, sometimes we tend to get confused between one or two options, and that is, I think, completely all right. Last question for this topic. Consider the following statement. Charities would usually be classified as a non-NGO. Charities would normally be classified as an NGO. It is a true statement, right? It is a true statement, as we discussed in the above questions as well, are because they do not have a profit motive, right? They do not have a profit motive. So simply, if they do not have a profit motive, that means they can be classified under NGOs, right? So I hope that this video was helpful for you. If you have any more questions related to this video, you can comment down below, or you can also reach us out on our Instagram page, which is @beingacca, and we'll be happy to help you. So, see you in the next video.